Hola estudiantes de Español 1, soy la señora Terrones. Hoy vamos a hablar del tiempo, del clima. ¿Qué tiempo hace? What's the weather like? Today we're going to talk about the weather in Spanish. This is part of lección preliminar. Remember, if I'm going too fast or you just want to hear something again for practice, pause and rewind the video as you need to. Also, if you are given any worksheets or any questions to do along with this, make sure that you are doing them. Feel free to take notes as well, as it will only help you later on down the road. La meta. Today's goal is to talk about the weather. And with the weather, menos es más. Less is more. Weather is a very common topic of conversation, but there's lots of different ways to ask about the weather and to talk about the weather. So we're just going to give you a very brief overview of some basic weather conversation phrases and vocabulary. Las preguntas. ¿Cuáles son las preguntas? ¿Qué tiempo hace? Repitan. ¿Qué tiempo hace? Bien, excelente. ¿Qué tal el clima? Repitan. ¿Qué tal el clima? ¿Cómo está el clima? Repitan. ¿Cómo está el clima? Bien. Feel free to go ahead and write these down. Or, again, if you have a worksheet that was given to you in class, make sure that you're filling it out. So we have three different ways to ask what the weather's like. Tiempo, in this case, is a word for weather. Clima is just what it sounds like. It's climate. ¿Qué tiempo hace is probably the most common one that you'll hear from textbooks, but the other one is what you'll really hear when you're in a Spanish-speaking country. At least those are the ones that I've been exposed to most. And, of course, you can always add hoy to any of these to mean today. Where would you put it? ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? ¿Qué tal el clima hoy? Or ¿cómo está el clima hoy? Las respuestas. Hoy hace frío. Hoy hace frío. Repitan. Hoy hace frío. Hoy hace calor. Hoy hace calor. Repitan. Hoy hace calor. And again, you don't have to have the hoy in there. That just means today. Hace calor would just mean it's hot. Hoy hace sol. Hoy hace sol. Repitan. Hoy hace sol. Hoy hace viento. Hoy hace viento. Repitan. Hoy hace viento. Bien, hoy hace viento. Excelente, viento. Now, we don't have hace anymore because this is its own verb, so it doesn't need help. When we had hace, it's saying it makes. It makes sun. It makes heat. It makes cold. That's not the way we say it in English, but remember what I've told you in class. We can't always translate things exactly word for word. So here we have llueve. It rains. It's its own verb. Llueve. Repitan. Llueve. Bien, llueve. Here's another one that doesn't need hace. Nieva. Repitan. Nieva. Bien, nieva. Práctica. Now it's time to do some practice. I'm going to ask you what the weather is like, and based on the picture, you're going to go ahead and answer in a good complete sentence. Check for the answer. You'll see the answer, there'll be a pause, and then you'll have the answer, and it'll pop up for you. So take a minute and try to either just say it or write it down if you want to practice your spelling too. If you need more time, just pause in between. ¿Qué tal el clima? ¿Qué tal el clima? Hace frío. Or you could put hoy hace frío. ¿Qué tiempo hace? Hace calor. Hace calor. ¿Cómo está el clima hoy? Hace sol, or hoy hace sol. Or you could put hoy at the end. Hace sol hoy. ¿Qué tiempo hace? Hace viento. Hace viento. ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? Now remember, this is one of the ones that does not use hace to help it out. Llueve. Llueve. Hoy llueve, or llueve hoy. ¿Qué tal el clima? Again, we don't use hace with this one. It's just nieva. Nieva. Repaso. Saquen papel, un lápiz, or una pluma, y escriban. So if you need to pause while you get those materials, go ahead and do that now. ¿Cómo se dice how's the weather or what's the weather like in español? Escriban, por favor. Take a minute and write those down. Remember, we had 3 different ways. You want to work on your punctuation. Make sure you have any question marks in there and accents. Go ahead and pause the video while you write those down. One way you could have asked that question is, ¿Qué tiempo hace? Or, ¿Qué tal el clima? Or the third one is, ¿Cómo está el clima? And again, you could have put hoy with any of those. ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? ¿Qué tal el clima hoy? ¿Cómo está el clima hoy? If you want to make corrections on your paper, go ahead and pause the video now so you can keep that part up on the screen. Las respuestas. We're going to go ahead and you're going to practice how to answer the questions one more time. ¿Qué tiempo hace? You should have answered, hace frío. ¿Cómo está el clima? Hace sol. Bien, hace sol. Make sure you're answering these out loud. That's how you practice your pronunciation. ¿Qué tal el clima hoy? Hace calor. Hace calor. ¿Qué tiempo hace? Hace viento. Hace viento hoy. ¿Cómo está el clima? Llueve. Llueve. ¿Qué tal el clima hoy? Hoy nieva. Nieva. Muy bien. Hopefully you guys go back and you practice this lots and lots and lots so that way you get down all the basic weather phrases, because as we go throughout the year we're going to be adding to these and we're going to add more difficult weather phrases, or more complex I should say. They're no more difficult than these. You just have to memorize them, but it gets into weather just a little bit more. So go ahead and keep practicing and have a wonderful day.